Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Fat Mascara. I'm Jen Sullivan.
And I'm Julie Wilson.
Yes, you are. Hi.
What's going on, girl?
I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you. For you, Miss Ma'am. This has just been an amazing year. I'm sure we're going to do like year roundup, wrap-up stuff, but I just feel like Thanksgiving is part of that, like coming to the end of the year. What are we thankful for? All of that.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely thankful for you.
Oh, we're going to have sorry that this will not be publicized, but with the four of us are having a night on the town Fat Mascara holiday party. I was like, it's the company holiday party, which means the four people in New York City, because the rest of everybody's outside of the city.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I love the fact that we're all going to be together in one room, cutting up.
Yeah, sorry to tease.
Yeah, we're going to have a good old-fashioned time.
We are. I don't know that we're bringing that to your ears, but that's just for us, because that's what company holiday parties are for.
I know. Just get messy.
Where are you going tomorrow? Like, are you hosting? What are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. We stay in New York City, and we don't do like the traditional like turkey and all of that. We just eat whatever we want to eat. We're like, we want lobster. We'll go and get lobster and like make lobster. So usually it's like lobster and steak. We do a surf and turf situation. And then there's a tree stand literally on our corner. So we will walk and go get the Christmas tree after dinner, and we'll bring it back and we will decorate it.
I always thought that if I was Christian and had a tree, I love the idea of getting it up at Thanksgiving and then keeping it up till Christmas. It feels so perfect.
It's perfect. It makes me happy and joyful every time I'm in the living room, or like when I get up in the morning, I walk into the living room and there's a tree there, and we don't even spend Christmas here. Like there'll be no presents under the tree. Like we go down to my parents' place in Delaware. So like we just have the tree.
The tree will give you joy all December.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
You know what else gives me? It's like this. Also, New York just feels really great around this time of year. It's like the time when you're like, oh, this is why New York's so great. I mean, it's a great city, but
it lights up.
It does.
Everyone puts up the decorations.
Well, I did something inspired by you that was very New York and very not me. So remember, you told everyone that you went to Sunset Boulevard.
I did. Sunset Boulevard. Okay, I'm not going to sing.
I just never have gotten into Broadway. It's never been the thing about New York I get a lot of secondhand embarrassment. The theater kids of it all. I have a lot of trouble sitting still, even for a movie, let alone a play or Broadway. Like my brain is going elsewhere. I've been hearing such good things. I bought tickets for me and my best friend Jess that lives down in Philly. She came up for the day. We played hooky and we went to a Wednesday matinee.
Wow.
And okay, here's what I have to say.
But did you see Sunset Boulevard? What did you see?
I did. Inspired by you. That's what I'm saying.
Was Nicole playing?
She was.
I cannot wait for this review. What did you think?
Okay. She is amazing. The things that she does with her voice, I'm actually like, how does that coming out of that person, that small person, first of all? Mm-hmm. Second of all, I actually thought even more impressive than her was the staging. It was so cool. And it was
the whole outdoor part.
There was this camera that was on stage with them, so you were getting these different perspectives. It was very meta because it's about the entertainment industry. So it was like, it's giving meta. All of that said, halfway through, I just started daydreaming about, should I open an alpaca farm? I said this to my friend afterwards. This is what happens to my brain. I know, she's in the throes of like her deep song, and I can't focus because I'm just like, okay, and I just have this whole brain thing.
That?
I have no idea, but I found myself at the end of the thing being like, I think I need to spend some time with alpacas.
There's an amazing alpaca farm on Martha's Vineyard.
See,
you might want to go there.
I'm not that crazy. It's a good idea.
You're not that crazy, but I needed you to be like the show. When they do the thing outside, the live thing outside, like that's cool.
It's super amazing. I have a hard time suspending belief because I'm busy. When they were doing that, I was thinking about, okay, they definitely had to pre-record the audio. So he's lip syncing right now, but this looks like live video because those buses were parked outside when I got here. So it's clearly from today. I just start thinking about the logistics of it all, and I can't let the fantasy happen.
Ugh.
I'm a storyteller somewhat in journalism because I like that part of it, but I think I'm much more about the reporting, the facts, getting the information.
How would I tell this story if I was writing it up?
I wanted to know how it was working. You know, I'm like busy. Instead of immersing myself in the story that is this woman of an advanced age and what's happening to her and psychosis of her mind and all this, I'm busy like trying to think how they got the lights to work. So all I have to say is that seems like the best Broadway has to give. It is the best Broadway show I've ever seen, but I don't think Broadway's for me.
I respect that. You know what? You got to know thyself.
Right. And you didn't even know this woman and you loved it so much. So I was like, if Julie's giving it that stamp of approval, this is the one I have to go to like see once and for all if Broadway could be my thing.
I'm glad you appreciated it though, because it is high level Broadway.
Yeah, the artistry. And the people, I just feel like they put so much passion to it. And I want to like reciprocate that because I think that's what an audience should do. And I know they feed off that. And I was like, I'm not worthy. I'm just not worthy. They need someone better in this audience who's going to just like really.
I'm glad fabulous. You went though. I'm glad you pushed yourself to go and that you saw it.
It was also that time of year where I was like, this is what you do right now. Like you walk around in New York City. Somehow Times Square is not annoying when you're going to a Broadway show, even though it is at all other times.
There's a destination and you leave. Like walking through Times Square just to walk you through Times Square is madness. But if it's like, I have somewhere to go, then it's okay. But wait, what do you do on Thanksgiving?
Oh, I didn't answer. So this is the thing when you get married, right? It's always the push and pull of where do we go? So I swear the Jewish holidays were made 2 nights because they knew Jews and their in-laws would have drama. So like Rosh Hashanah and Passover, they all have 2 nights. So you do one side with one family, one with the other. Thanksgiving, we alternate. So like 1 year with his family, 1 year with my family. It is a Sullivan year. So we will be in... It's a town just like north of the Bronx that is his cousin's house for about 16 people they host. But Fran, his cousin's husband, Frank can cook like the bejesus. It is so good.
But like, what are you eating? Are you doing traditional Thanksgiving?
They do traditional. Oh, they do like 2 types of cranberry, 3 different stuffings if I remember. There's the sausage one, the other one. Then there's 3 different pies. It's everything you would think. And he makes his own beer.
What?
He is like a cook extraordinaire, like downstairs in their basement, they have like a beer making machine.
This is next level.
Oh, last year he made, the appetizer was, how do you feel about chicken livers?
I eat everything. I'm not a huge chicken liver fan, but I'll eat it.
It was the greatest thing I had ever tasted. It was like a chicken liver pate. It might have been turkey liver pate now that I'm thinking about it because it was really, and then he did a thin layer of a cranberry jelly over top of it. This thing looked like artwork. And it was the flavors of Thanksgiving on a cracker. And it was, I mean, shout out to Fran. So I'm looking forward to the food.
Wow. That sounds amazing. I mean, it's his time to shine, clearly.
Yeah, Fran's going to bring it. All right, we didn't even talk about beauty yet. We have so much beauty to get to. How's that for Broadway? Did you like that?
You saw I was doing my Broadway hands.
Thank you for the jazz hands.
I know you can't see it, guys, but I'm doing my jazz hands. Fosse, very... very on stage.
Oh, look, she's gotten out a chair and now she's swinging it around and sitting on it backwards.
Here I am. Ta ta la ta ta. Anyway,
let's get into it. Let's do the news. Okay, let's get into the news of the week. Something that actually I was at an event, the CEW Awards Luncheon, you were there too.
That you emceed, you and Jess emceed, like the literal professionals that you are, the queens that you are. It was so good. In front of all of the masters and titans of the beauty universe. It was very cool. You did that.
Stop. Well,
you did. Take your flowers, damn it.
Thank you for the flowers. It was like a high school reunion. You see all these people you know. More than a few conversations, though, that I had. People asked about one news event of the week, which I thought was really interesting. That's when you know something's got people buzzing. So if you haven't seen this, there's this guy, Dax Shepard. I don't know if you've heard of him. He has a podcast called Armchair Expert. So he had on Cynthia Erivo, who is playing, what is the name of the Green Witch in Wicked? Elphaba.
Yeah.
Says the girl who doesn't like Broadway. Hello. You've probably seen her around in Ariana Grande. They've been doing the press tour. So she comes on Dax's show and she often has a nail look. Like she has long nails. And
she is a nail girly. That is her thing.
And on top of that, for the Wicked press tour, she's been leaning into the witchiness of it all and bringing the looks, including fabulous bejeweled nails that sometimes reference the show or the movie and sometimes just look great. So this man says to her, can I ask you a question? I feel like when anybody says, can I ask you a question?
It's not a question you should probably ask.
It's always loaded.
It's always loaded or inappropriate.
And so he, of course, then goes in and he says to her, can I ask how you wipe your butt with these nails? Now, as someone who reports on the beauty culture, long nails have been a thing since forever.
Forever.
Thousands of years, hundreds of years. Different levels of society have enjoyed long nails. And I don't know, he asked her this. She handled it like a pro, professionally. I didn't hear that much annoyance in her voice, but I was annoyed. I was so annoyed.
I was so annoyed. I was so shocked. I was just like, this is just not, it's like potty talk. You don't bring that sort of thing up, especially when you're talking to someone as esteemed as Cynthia. Like, it's just not the sort of conversation that you should be leaning into, right? I understand your curiosity. Maybe even ask her on the side, not on air, because like you said, I'm so surprised she didn't snap and be like, are you kidding? Why are you even asking me a question like that, right? Like, can we stick to the script? And it's just like embarrassing. You then start to visualize, try to be like, what is he talking about? Oh yeah, like, I don't want to visualize Cynthia Erivo wiping herself, which I'm sure she does in a very proficient, effective way. But like, why would we have to be talking about it?
Do you want to know why I think? Because I think men feel like they're allowed to comment on women's appearances. And this is both, for me, a gender thing, but a little bit of a racial thing too, because it's also like, he's a white man who no one ever is going to ask anything about what he looks like, because you just don't in our society.
Right.
And here he is asking someone with long nails. It's like, did you not think about who you're speaking with and how rude this is coming across? It just felt like a microaggression. Even if he was like, am I offending you?
And I know internally she was offended. She had to have been. Any woman would have been. But she's such a professional and she handled it like a G. And she was just like, I'm going to answer this. And I'm also going to, because I think also the assumption is you can't really wipe yourself well when you have nails like that. And then she had to go into the like, I'm clean. I don't walk around smelling like poop. And the fact that she even had to say that is wild. But like that, I think is also the assumption when you ask someone, how do you wipe yourself with those things? If Jessica Chastain was sitting there with long nails, he would never asked her that either. So I do think it's partly racial, but that's also me coming from like a Black woman. And right now I'm always fiercely protective of Black women, but I am more so after the election. So Dax, don't play in our face.
I see that too, and I'm not a Black woman. And I do see that, especially because it's just, I just feel like there's certain populations that you don't ever have to think about how you're perceived by others. So it doesn't even cross your mind how that might be uncomfortable. Like, I'm sure I think he thought he was funny, but to me, the problem is not that he was super rude. It was that he also didn't put himself in the other person's shoes to think about what that would be like. Because
exactly.
Like, how do you get your penis inside your pants, Dax? Like,
Right.
I don't know how that ergonomically works. Clearly, we're all adults here and we can do things. It just felt like, it also felt like you were making fun of the nails a little bit, you know, like her personal choices.
Making fun of them. And again, I think it's the hygiene piece that really bothers me, that it's like you're trying to say you're not
the dirtiness.
You're dirty because there's no way you can wipe your butt fully with those nails.
Yes, which implies that I think that you are a less capable, less clean person than I am, perhaps.
Yes.
We don't know. However, that we do know, because I forgot about this part of it, there was news like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell made news because they said publicly that they don't really...
The fact that you are reminding me, I don't know who said it.
Wait, I have to finish saying it.
I didn't remember
that they don't wash their kids that often. And I forget the quote, but it was basically like, well, when they start to stink is when they get a bath. And so they'll go sometimes 5 or 6 days without their kids bathing. This family is the same family. This was 5 years, whatever years ago it was. You're going to say that, and now you're going to have the balls to come in and ask someone about their hygiene habits?
Like, stop. It's weird.
And also, you've just proven your point, which, like, that's okay for you, but for a different person of a different gender and a different cultural group, maybe it's not okay. So it's like, it has so many levels that annoyed me. And more than a few people I spoke with in the beauty community were just like, are we still doing this? Questions about hair, questions about physical choices, like...
The only thing he should have asked her, was like, how do you decide on your nail design? Maybe even how long does that take? It looks so beautiful and intricate. Those are the sorts of questions you ask around such a beautiful, amazing beauty moment. You don't ask how you wipe your tush.
I know.
It's really gross, honestly.
Just, you can admire someone's look if it comes up in conversation, but otherwise that goes back to that advice I learned this year that the teacher said to the kindergartners, if it's not something about their appearance that they can change in the next 15 seconds, don't comment on it. In a regular,
right.
know, I understand a celebrity interview is slightly different, but like, yeah, just common sense, people. Anyway, that news was still sticking with me. In other news, this is interesting. Medical residency applications for dermatology slots are up 50%, 50, over the past 5 years, according to data from the Association of American Medical Colleges. Julie, why do you think that might be?
Because people are more concerned with their skin. I don't know. We're taking selfies where like there's more imagery of us. So people are more like want to lead into having better skin. So there's more demand for dermatologists. I don't know.
I think that's probably part of it. And I've been seeing some, WSJ wrote about, like, people have been writing about this stat, like trying to dig into why. The biggest thing people are coming up with is like being a doctor, you can't have a family life because, you have to be in the hospital all the time. And dermatologists often get to have like a 9-to-5 job. There's very few medical jobs that way. However, there's some additional stat here that might be a bigger part of the reason.
Oh my God, tell me.
Apparently, dermatologists earn a median income of $541,000 a year, according to a recent survey of more than 150,000 U.S. physicians that was conducted by Medical Group Management Association. To just put that in context, because obviously you've gone to medical school, you've paid for medical school. I understand that these advanced degrees should be paid more. However, a pediatrician, by contrast, earned a medium $258,000 annually.
Wow.
Like, now among some of the best paid physicians out there.
My mind is blown because it's like everyone has a pediatrician if you have a child, but not everyone goes to a derm. Right? And so, honestly, I think it should be flipped. But, my God, that's a lot of money.
That's the median. Like, you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, we've also talked about derm deserts, like how it's really hard in certain communities in America to find a dermatologist or get an appointment with a dermatologist. So I think a lot of these derms that are making money like that are probably in these derm central areas that we know about, like LA, Houston, New York. So you're already probably making a bit more. So maybe actually the data is skewed partially because of where dermatologists are. But if all these more people are coming into dermatology, I think we got to get them spread out into the country to help people with skin cancers too, and rashes.
Do you have to like go through full medical school to become a derm?
To be a derm? Are you serious?
I'm just saying because,
yes.
I mean, I would think so, right?
Yes.
Like you have to go through full medical school and then you go to specialized.
Then you get your residency. So like your years in medical school, then your years in residency, then you pass your boards. Maybe you do an extra year of a fellowship. We're talking after college, 7 to 8 years usually of schooling. 7, which can, some of it on the job, obviously, before you start working. But yes.
All right. I picked the wrong profession. I clearly could have been making bank.
I know one beauty editor that then went back to school to become a dermatologist, like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah, I can't remember her name. And I remember she just really
smart.
writing about skincare and stuff and decided to go back to medical school. And she's probably making a lot more money than
I've heard of editors wanting to become estheticians, like that sort of thing, get that license because obviously leans into their love of skincare, but also can provide another profession for them to go into.
Do you know any beauty editors that are licensed estheticians?
There is someone.
I know Charlotte Palomino. has
Yes.
an esthetician. There's another
Maybe
one,
that's
though.
who I knew.
Yeah. At this point, I bet you if they gave us, I don't know about you, but I feel like if I took the cosmetology exam for becoming an esthetician, on paper at least, I am not saying I could do the things with my hands on the people yet.
I think we could do it. I think we could
But like dermis, epidermis, how many times have we seen these slides?
Yeah, we could kill. Lipids, like we know skin barrier stuff, like we know sebum.
Do you want to just take the boards, Julie? Maybe we should just send you in for like board certification as a physician, see how you do.
Come on, sebum levels. We know these
Bring
things.
No, I don't pretend to think that. I do think physicians should be paid good money because they work hard for those jobs.
For sure. No one's saying they shouldn't make that much. I just think it's very interesting that dermatologists make that much more than something like a pediatrician. And again, there's more pediatrician than dermatologists, so that probably is the reason. I don't do math. I'm just thinking pediatricians like are working overtime all the time.
Also, if they have to put in all of the income they're getting, not just from, say, their clinical practice, think about these TikTok derms out here.
TikTok derms, also derms with their own lines.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
There's so many derms out there
The
with their own lines.
dermfluencers.
Mm-hmm.
Who are not just seeing patients, some of them, though there is some talk of like some of them barely even see patients. They literally just make TikToks all day. There was an article, did Brennan write that maybe for Allure about this? So they're making their money from the kind of branded content like a content creator would make their money from, which I've heard pays pretty well.
Look, you got to do whatever's paying the bills out in these streets. Yeah. Get your money, y'all. Secure the bags.
50% over the past 5 years. Okay, last thing. Let's go to Science Corner. Not the last thing. We're going to raise some wands and stuff, but come on over to Science Corner. Wait, Julie, this is funny because I just said I was going to make you take like the boards or a cosmetology quiz, and I forgot that I actually have a quiz for you.
Oh, right. You did have.
Will you indulge me?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, a little news. I don't know if you knew this, but back in 2018, P&G Beauty, which owns a bunch of hair brands, one of them being Herbal Essences, they partnered with Royal Botanic Gardens Kew, which is like the gardening mecca over in London. They know all the things about all the plants and botanicals and keep logs of like, this plant has changed this much over this many years. Well, they started working together, and one of the projects they were working on is studying botanical oils. So they studied 50 different botanical oils and then just presented some of the research. I was not able to get down to Brazil to see the presentation. It was at the I know, missed out. International Federation of Societies of Cosmetic Chemists. So they're basically trying to figure out, we all know and love oils for our hair, and I feel like there's instincts. Like there's certain people have an instinct to go for a certain kind of oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know which ones work for me, I think, but they're trying to get some science behind which oils are best for which hair types.
I love this.
Yeah, maybe we have it wrong. Maybe we're just like, oh, coconut's great for moisture, but it's actually this other oil. So here's a couple things they found. Camellia oil, which is from a flower, the camellia, I think.
It's the flower of Chanel, of the House of Chanel.
Correct. Well, the oil from this plant seed is best suited for consumers who want a lightweight oil, which actually, now that I'm thinking it, it's in Shu Uemura's hair products, camellia oil. So I could see that because they do lovely stuff, or they did stuff for fine hair. Next up was avocado and pequi oil. Do you know pequi oil? Pequi?
Yes, I have seen this. It's in
okay.
a Filipino. Wasn't there a line that came out from the Philippines or from a Philippine?
That was using that ingredient?
That was using that, yeah.
That one was new to me, but avocado, obviously, I've heard of. They're saying they're great for curly-haired consumers and people with frizz because they reduce combing friction when hair is wet, which is,
love that. Despite
what you might think on TikTok, how a lot of people comb their hair when it's wet. I understand it can break more if you have straight hair, but if you have curly hair, you comb when you're wet. That's just when you do it. So avocado and pequi are good for smoothing it. And then just one more hot point before your quiz, which has nothing to do with this, but sort of does. Coconut and shea. Delicious.
I love both of those.
Love those. So they're some of the richest oils. The reason being they found highest levels of glycerol tripalmitate of all the oils they tested, which is what makes them the best suited towards textured and coily hair, like that needs extra fatty goodness.
Nice.
Honestly, the instincts here, I feel like I would have known without research. Like coconut and shea feel the most moisturizing. But using those instincts and using what you know about oils, they added into their research a little bit about the last year they had data was 2022. The top 5 oils in the United States used in hair care launches.
Launches.
So if you picture all the products that crossed your desk, let's say it's probably since 2022, recently.
Right.
All the hair products that have come across your desk, what the most popular oils are. There are 5. Can you you don't even put them in order. I would just want to see if you could name them.
And this is for hair, not skin.
This is for hair only. I do have skin also if you want to know, but I'm not going to make it crazy.
Jojoba.
It's on there, absolutely.
Okay. Coconut oil's not there?
On there, yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Argan?
You got it. 3 out of 5 right now, people.
I'm stumped for the other ones. Wait, I said argan, jojoba, coconut. I'm trying to think of what I've seen on bottles and stuff.
Think of a brand name of a very popular hair care line.
Oh, Shea. Shea?
Shea, 4 out of 5.
But what about castor oil?
Actually, not on there. The 5th one I was surprised about too, sunflower oil. I feel like it might be one of the ones that doesn't get the call out in the marketing, but like it's in the formula, you know? Because like when's the last time you heard about someone touting sunflower oil in the hair care?
I haven't. That's why I hear a lot about castor oil, at least in my hair care aisle, because it's all about hair growth and hair strengthening. So that's interesting. Okay, sunflower.
But then I was also thinking like rosemary oil and castor oil and things that people use like in their pure form. There's fewer launches for that because they're like those targeted products where I feel like if you're doing like all the shampoos, like a lot of shampoos have coconut oil in them. You know what I mean? Or a lot of conditioners.
Yes. And what's the one with the baobab? Baobab. That one.
Baobab oil.
I feel like I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah. Not in the top 5, but in order they are coconut oil, 31%, shea butter, 23%, argan oil, 20%, and then sunflower oil, 14%, and jojoba was 12%.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like I see jojoba all the time. I'm surprised that's not more.
It is more when you look at skincare, because we always hear, it's so funny, you hear the same things throughout our career over and jojoba has very similar fatty profile to the sebum in your skin. How many times have you heard that?
Exactly. But wait, do you have the answers for skin?
I do. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. In first place, sunflower oil again. Are we missing out on sunflower oil?
Do we think that this is just like a filler oil that they use?
Or is it the secret unsung hero? We're out here touting the argan when it's really the sunflower doing the work.
But why wouldn't brands be singing this from the rooftop? I've never gone to an event where they're like, y'all, sunflower oil is like the new thing.
Not even in skincare.
Right. Is it an oil that they just use as like a base oil or carrier oil that like it's just in abundance, but it's not necessarily you're using it for its benefits? Because I feel like we would have written stories about sunflower oil, and I have never.
Or they're getting like a triglyceride out of it and they don't actually use no, this is the oil. I don't know. Where you know what? I'll follow up. I'm going to ask the Kew Gardens people and the Herbal Essences and P&G Beauty. Okay, number 1 for skin, sunflower oil. Number 2, shea butter. 23% of skin launches oils had shea butter. Number 3, jojoba.
So a lot of the hair ones.
Very similar, except these 2 were not in hair. It was soybean oil and almond oil.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Know what I like for my skin? Rosehip oil.
I love rosehip oil.
Where's that on the list?
I think it's quite expensive.
It's expensive.
It's one of those oils, too, to me. It's like, sure, it's a carrier oil, but it feels like an essential oil just because the name of it, rosehip. But it is, my skin loves that stuff. It just sinks right in. The Trilogy is the brand that I've always used of rosehip oil.
So good. I actually got it from this. It was called like Beloved. It was like cold pressed rosehip oil, like just the straight up stuff.
If you get it pure cold pressed, it comes out of the bottle and you're like, oh, is this a serum that some fancy chemists like developed? That's what it feels like in your hands and goes into your skin, like, and it's just a pure oil.
It's so good. I love it.
We should be on this hype team. Let's get out on the street team for rosehip oil. It needs our love. Then they'll be on the list next year. Okay, quiz time's over. Sorry I put you through that. Come on.
All right, I did okay.
You did amazing.
Thanks.
All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll raise wands. should let you do the honors of introducing Wendy from Maryland. Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Jen. We have Wendy from Maryland telling us about one of the most beautiful, special, beloved beauty gifts that she's ever gotten. And honestly, I don't know, it tugged on my heart. So listen, and hopefully it tugs on yours too.
Hi, Jess and Jen. This is Wendy calling from Maryland. I wanted to tell you about my best beauty gift. So my husband and I started going out in high school, and around 1990, when everyone had very thin eyebrows and he saw me constantly plucking my eyebrows, he got me a very expensive pair of tweezers. I think they were like $60 or something, which was a lot back then. He bought them from a store in the mall that sold fancy pocket knives and tools, and they were an amazing pair of tweezers. They survived an incident with the airport TSA during the time when the TSA started limiting which you could travel with. And they are also currently surviving a teenager in my house that loves to borrow things and not return them. Because of this, they mostly stay safely hidden away in my jewelry box because they are my most special beauty gift. Thanks.
Okay, Wendy, keep that man.
He is a keeper. Okay? Like, how beautiful is that? I don't think my husband would be as vigilant around the fact that I would be plucking my eyebrows a lot or something.
I was going to say like attuned. This man saw you and saw you. Like he got it. And it's almost like, it's just so sweet because it's also like, it's a little dorky in a way.
It is. But like also just shows you like that's a gift that you're like, wow, you really pay attention. Like I didn't have to tell you, I didn't have to drop hints. Like you just paid attention to my movements, how I move in the world. And you got me this beautiful gift that has lasted. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. It's not something that's just like a flash in the pan. Like I've had these
like that
for
other
years.
people wouldn't get either. Cause like another person would be like, tweezers, what? And you're like, no, you don't know. There's levels to this.
Right. They'd be like, that's a whack gift. And you're like, no, like I love to tweeze.
I love it.
And he saw my love for tweezing.
Also, those are some good tweezers if she's still using them now.
Yes. I need them.
I love it.
Immediately.
Well, that was, I guess we did this maybe almost a whole month, but Thanksgiving's tomorrow. So, that was one of our last thankful beauty stories that we're going to share. I actually do think it's time to move on. I mean, keep them coming if you want, because I personally love them. I will not pick up the phone when you call us. Call us at 646-481-8182. I don't pick up. It goes to voicemail. You leave your message. You tell us about a product you love, ask a question, that kind of thing. However, I have a little bit of homework. I'm curious what you would say for me, Julie, but I also want to know what the listeners think I should do. It's holiday candle time. Like there's going to be a candle burning all the time from now probably until March. I've burned them more in the winter. And I want the holiday feel. However, I've been perusing what came out this holiday and the classic standards. And I feel like we go into two camps always. We go into piney winter wonderland. Mm-hmm. And sometimes a little just too much tree. It's giving too much tree.
Okay.
And I love the woods, but it just I don't know. And then there's the cookie one, the cookie vanilla, cinnamon bakey apple, like too gourmand. And I like woodsy. I like fresh. I want to feel like it's winter, but I don't want it to be cloyingly sweet. And I don't want it to smell just like Christmas tree stand. What is my candle? Like what can give me the season feeling without the traditional season tropes, if you will?
I mean, my candle that I will always and forever burn is Nest Holiday.
It's just called Holiday?
It's just called Holiday.
Wait, I love a Nest candle and I don't know Holiday.
It is the best, Jen. But again, it's a very tree forward, but also just, I don't know. But it's not too much. I just love it. It's the number one selling holiday candle in the country. Like it's that good.
Really?
Yes. And Nest does this whole, how you can smell it without buying it if you don't want to or hitting up the PR. They do this whole thing on Fifth Avenue where they have trees that put out that scent. They have these like artificial trees.
We spoke about this last holiday, but I didn't know what the scent was.
It's called Holiday from Nest and it is amazing. I literally have one right there. It's so good.
So it's giving tree, but not too much tree.
Look at it. It's like already burned down. Like, but that was from last year. but it's
A triple
called
wicker.
Holiday. I mean, you can get a single wick one, but I have a triple wick one and like I have a single wick one somewhere. It is so good. It just like, it fills my heart up. Like I just love putting it on and putting on the Christmas tree and putting on the Christmas music. It's great.
Oh, it's the music starts after Thanksgiving. Do you have a
Oh.
particular song that's like
Rocking
a favorite?
around the Christmas tree.
Okay, classic.
Holiday. Yeah. And the kids know the song. They love that. I mean, I love the Temptations, like Silent Night. I love Sounds of Blackness, Soul Holiday. It's very black. So all the black listeners.
This is the album, Sounds of Blackness.
So the name
Soul
of the
Holiday?
group is called Sounds of Blackness. They have a really popular song called Optimistic, which I'm sure you've heard. They're like a gospel group, gospel R&B. And they did a Christmas album and there's a song called Soul Holiday. And it is like the most beautiful and blackest song. I don't know.
You light up your holiday candle and you put that on and you're just...
Yes. I'm telling you, put that song on, light this Nest holiday candle, and you will be happy.
I'll be converted. I'll be Christian.
And black. So like, there you go. Soul Holiday. I'm telling you, it's so good. I just love it. So anyway.
That's like I love hearing what people, I love that the music and everything, even though I don't celebrate the holiday, I just like, it feels very holiday to me.
It's like
she's
piney,
huffing her candle
I know,
right now,
it's
everyone.
like piney and cinnamony. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm telling you, it's the number one holiday candle
I didn't know
in
that.
the country.
That's great. All right. Well, so we know what Julie's is. I am still curious what other, because I also just like to hear about people's traditions, because I think it says a lot about how they and their family, you know, celebrate. So not just the, I mean, leave me the song too. I'm curious to hear that. We can play some of the songs.
Yeah.
But tell me what candle you like this time of year.
I can't wait to hear this list.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good, I think. 646-481-8182. Okay, it's time for us to raise wands. What do you have this week?
I have a brand by actually two friends. My friend Courtney and Donnell launched this brand several years ago. It's called Sanctuary. And they do fragrances, like home fragrances to spritz around the house. And candles. Speaking of candles, they do candles. So it's kind of just like home fragrance company. Really amazing. I really love the fact, though, you know me, I'm a Martha's Vineyard girl. And they are Martha's Vineyard goers as well. And they have a whole collection around Black beaches, like historical Black beaches. And so like this one is called the Inkwell. You know,
Julie.
like the Inkwell Beach. They have...
Julie.
Yeah.
Julie.
What happened?
You have raised a wand to this candle, I think. Or else we've talked about it.
Have we?
Because I learned, yes. Because I learned about it from you.
I put it on my Instagram. You probably saw it on my Instagram.
We didn't talk about it on Fat Mascara?
I don't know. Did we?
I'm having deja vu. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Okay.
No, but if I did, it just shows the listeners how much I love it. How much I love it. But the fact that maybe the newness now is they've had the candles, but they haven't had the home fragrances. So now they have these home.
Sorry. Okay.
But if I said it again, I'm saying it again. If I said it before, I'm saying it again. But I love these. They're all like, they're very intentional. They're all about, again, these kind of Black enclaves around the country that we find solace in, and they've created fragrances for them. So I just love them. And I've literally this past week purchased 2 and sent them to friends already for like thank yous. Like, thank you so much for, you know, I did this one gig, this speaking gig, and I sent the person who hired me for it one of these candles. It's a gift that I constantly give because I love them so much.
That's classy. And also, so just so I make sure I have the story right, because I remember the story from the beach, because I think we just talked about it when
we did.
Went there. So Inkwell is the name of one of the beaches in Martha's Vineyard that's historically a Black enclave.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that smell like?
Oh, I don't know the notes.
The Santerre version of it, I mean. Is it beachy? Is it fresh?
It is beachy. It feels like a cozy beach, though. It's hard I'll find the notes later, but it feels like, yes, I'm outside, fresh air, all of that, but it feels like cozy.
Comforting.
Comforting. It feels like I'm
Yeah.
home. And like that is what Inkwell Beach has been to so many people, is like a place where they feel like they can be themselves. They can let their hair down or up, since our hair grows up, and then just be there with their family. So you feel that fresh, lively, like we're on the beach, but you feel at home. I love it.
I love that you give that as a gift because it also has a really great story that you can then share that piece of you with other people by giving that gift.
I love it.
All right.
Anyway.
Centaire is the name
Sanctuary.
of the brand. Sanctuary. Good thing we said it again. Good job, Jen. Wow. Now I feel like mine's all practical, not lovely as per usual.
Tell me. I want to hear about it.
Okay, so I am a very late convert to the Outset. It was you. We were talking about this on the show because I did that story.
I like the Outset.
Yeah. So all these editors told me about what celebrity lines, they bitched about the ones they don't like. They said what's secretly, the one that I didn't know that everybody secretly low-key kind of loved, but yet I feel like don't write about a ton is the Outset, which has the celebrity line of Scarlett Johansson is the co-founder with Kate Foster. But I was on a panel, I moderated a panel at Harvard Business School with Kate Foster.
Wait, time out. I know you guys know, but can we just take a moment? You're speaking at Harvard. Okay, keep going.
My stepson for the like literally for like 2 weeks after was like, oh, I'm sorry, did you go to Harvard? Like he can't let it go now. He's just like, he's making fun of me, but like
prepare to be sick of me when I go and speak at Harvard. Prepare to be sick of me. It's going to be on my resume stat.
They gave me a coffee cup, like as a thank you. Damned if I don't drink with that coffee cup every morning. I just hold my little Harvard Business School coffee cup and feel very important.
This is what I'm saying. I spoke 2 weeks ago at SCAD and I was like, where's my honorary degree? Like, I was just like, I'm
ready to get my doctorate now. I'm so sorry. What?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Bringing it back.
Prepare to be.
She's got a PhD. Yes.
I hope this is on your resume.
I guess it should be. I'll put it on there. But it was a great panel. So it was the founders of Milk Makeup, Outset, and Vacation. Well, one half of the Vacation guys. And after the panel, I was like, I haven't tried your products. So she sent me a little sampler kit, and I'm obsessed with two of them. The moisturizer is called the Outset. See, it's right there. It's like literally right next to me in the drawer because I've been using it every day. The Outset Nourishing Squalene Daily Moisturizer. And then if you need a little extra something, there's the Outset Ultra Light Moisture Boosting Oil. The reason I love this is
the oil's everything.
I think my skin is very sensitive to hyaluronic acid, and it is in everything. And I had been using a moisturizer that I thought was just like a normal plain moisturizer and getting all red. And I was like, what's going on? Of course, then I looked up the ingredients and there was multi-weight hyaluronic acid. I was like, damn it, foiled again. Mm-hmm. This stuff is not only more moisturizing than hyaluronic acid, it just does not flare my rosacea. It's bringing me back. I did all those things that you're not supposed to do where I feel like I'm fine and I try all these different products and all of a sudden your skin's a whole mess and you don't know why. If that's happening to you, just go to the Outset. Just like go there and just go back to like, it's so nourishing. And so I just like, I feel like I have like glass skin, like a little moudang.
It is a great line. I do often go back to that oil. I do love that oil.
You know this?
Yes, I know the oil. And I was using the eye cream for a while until I found another one that works a little bit better. But the eye cream's really good. And then the other product I love, they have a mask.
Oh, I didn't try the mask.
It's really good. Look at you putting it on. She's putting it on, folks. That's when you know it's good. While we are recording, it needs to go on my face. I couldn't pick up the bottle without putting it on my face. That's when you know it's good.
It's true. I actually just held it in my hand. I was like, well, I think I'm going to get a little squirt right now.
It's in my hands. Let's do it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Come on, Scarlett Johansson.
That's right.
Come on. And come on, Kate. I love both of them. They're really great.
Yeah, it just works.
Do you know she like shows up to the events too that they have for editor, Scarlett?
Yes. Well, somebody had like, it was one quote, of course, that I used in my story I felt bad about, but it was a good quote, was like, they didn't have a great moment with Scarlett. And I was like, I mentioned that, but then I mentioned like all the editors love this. Give the woman a break. She is doing a lot of stuff.
Scarlett literally did a video with me at
Wait,
the
what?
end of the event, yes, where I said, my son loves you. Like, she's Black Widow from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a Marvel superhero.
Wait, so I didn't know this. This is why you should have responded to my survey for the cut, so I could have used your quotes in my story, Julie.
I know, I'm sorry. I failed there. But when I tell you.
So she made a video with you?
She made a video with me. I was like, Scarlett, my son is obsessed. Would you mind like just saying hi to him, like doing a quick video saying hi to him? And she was like, absolutely. And I put up my phone. I was like, Orion, look who I'm here with. And she was like, hi, Orion. It's me, Black Widow. I'm here with your mom. We're having such a great time. And just so you know, your mom is so cool. And I was like, boom, shakalaka. I was like, thank you, Scarlett. You like just made me.
She didn't even say Scarlett Johansson because she knew he wouldn't care. She said the Black Widow because she knows her audience.
Yeah, he would be like, Scarlett, who? So she was like, it's me, Black Widow. And I'm like, mind blown. She was so great.
He
died. He was like, you're hanging out with Black Widow? I'm like, yes, I'm your mom. I'm cool.
And she said Mama was cool. Did you not hear what I just showed you?
I know, and she did that on her own because I said to her, I was like, he really loves Black Widow, and this would make me, like, give me so many cool points if, like, you just said hi to him in a video. And she went above and beyond. She acted like she was Black Widow, and she said I was cool. Done.
Well, if I wasn't going to buy her moisturizer and boosting oil before, I'm certainly going to keep buying it.
Absolutely.
That's actually really sweet.
Right?
Aww.
Amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, raise a wand to the outset, raise a wand to sanctuary. And the newer part is the room sprays to go along with their candles. Which sometimes you want that for like a linen. Like I love it for a linens, like the bed after I make it.
We're the same person. Like if it's not even about spraying it in the air, I spray it on the linens.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't even know how you're supposed to use them. That's how I use them. Because you know what I do afterwards? Then I get my beauty sleep, which is what you're going to do. Everybody get your beauty sleep. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We're thankful for you.
Yes. Super thankful for y'all.
Julie, I'm thankful for you.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Raise a Wand product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.